Alright, I've got my father-in-law's 2003 Ford Ranger pickup here, and as you can see there is no tailgate handle. I'm just going to quickly show you guys how to replace it. Here's a replacement one. But the way you get the tailgate open is kind of important because, you know, it's going to be much easier to change that out with the tailgate open. So if you look at the way this works, this basically mounts here. These would be these two studs, and the handle mechanism pushes down on two pieces in here, which then pulls the rods in that hold the tailgate shut. So we've got one side wire tied off, so I only have to release this one side. Okay, it's going to be tough to get the camera in there to show you, but basically what you want to do is take a flashlight and try to see if you can find the piece that's broken. If yours is broken, you know, you've probably got the rest of it in there, and it basically pushes down on a mechanism that releases that. Okay? Alright, there we go. And typically you'd have to do both sides, okay? But again, I've got this side over here wire tied off because we've been at it before. And at the time, actually, this side was working. It wasn't broken yet. So just keep in mind that you'd have to release both sides if you, you know, if your handle is missing like this. So just take your time, take a couple of screwdrivers, maybe another extra set of hands for a flashlight, and you'll be able to get it done. I'm going to move the camera here so I can lower the tailgate. Alright, so this one's got the bed liner, and these are T30 Torx bits. I'm assuming that they're going to be the same for other models, makes and models, but they may not be. So what you'll want to do is just, and if you don't have the bed liner, you're going to have a plate right under here, and we'll see that shortly. You're going to want to remove all of the screws, whatever they may be, that are holding that plate on, as well as if you've got a bed liner, the bed liner tailgate cover. So that's what they basically look like on this rig. This one's missing a few, and there are some that are stripped out also. And you can see these are broken as well. So we're replacing those. I didn't know it, otherwise we would have gotten them in. That's okay, because it's real quick and easy to take this apart. Okay? So if you don't have a bed liner, you're looking at a plate that is like this. Okay? And here's the mechanism, right here. Let me reposition the camera here. So let's take a quick look at how this works here before I start removing the existing handle, or what's left of it. You can see this one's been wire tied, and we can go ahead and break that loose. We don't need that anymore. At least we're hoping that. Okay. That was just to make it easier for them to open it when only one side was working. But basically, you've got these, I guess you'd call them ear mechanisms, if you will. And as your handle pushes down on it, it retracts the metal rods that work the latch mechanism. Okay? So, in this one we just had retracted, so it's going to work the same way. Alright? What I'm going to do, because these studs are actually spinning on the back side, is I'm going to take some vice grips and just clamp them on there. Alright. Basically, we just need something to prevent these from spinning, and they're not hex head. So I need something to grab a hold of them with. Okay? Alright. Using a 10mm socket here. I'm just grabbing the other side, the vice grip with my other hand. Alright, there it is. Got it. Okay, so here's what's left of the old handle. You can see it's there's not much of it. So let's go ahead and start putting the new one on. Alright, so you can see here I've got the handle removed. Here's the new one. These pieces here have to go on top of those parts I was calling ears or wings, and I can show you that on the other side. But basically you've got to get them in position. So you're going to tip it up like this initially. And then once you're in there, you've got these hinges here, or these springs. And those need to get up in there, and then you can kind of tilt it because you need these studs to hit these holes. Okay? Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see it from the back side. Alright, so there's holes here as well, obviously. And there's holes in the tailgate. And those studs need to match. And these pieces here are where the top portions of the back side of those handle arms push down onto. So you need to have those below the handle pieces, okay? And then what we're going to do is get the nuts on there real quick. And before I tighten it down all the way, I'm just going to make sure that I have things where they need to be. And this one appears to be a little bit bent, and I assume it's from opening it with a screwdriver. You know, it tends to bend the arms a little bit, but that's okay. There's adjustments on these. If we need to adjust it, we can do that. Okay, I'm just going to reposition the camera and show you before I tighten it all down where those arms need to be, so you can clearly understand that. Okay, so what happens is when you open the handle, those arms push down on these pieces right here. So the arms need to be above those on both sides. So, and you can see that they clearly are. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and tighten it down all the way now. It's funny, I told my father-in-law I'd do this for him, and I've seen 3 or 4 other Rangers recently, well, since we've been talking about it, that have the same problem. So this must be a common problem on these. I believe the original one was plastic, and I ordered a metal replacement. I'm just going to make sure the studs aren't spinning on the back side here. I hope not, because there won't really be any way to grab them. No, it's tightening down. And again, we don't want to go crazy. You want them snug, you don't want them to fall off, but you don't want to break them, which is usually what I'm guilty of. Just kind of snug it up, both sides. Let's check it out before I close it here. Yeah, that's what we want to see right there. And when I reached up under with the screwdriver, I was grabbing these pieces here. And you can see this one's a little bit bent. Okay? So that appears like that's going to work just fine. Okay, the only thing I'm going to do here is put a little bit, I'm going to hit this with some WD and put a little bit of grease on the movement point there. Okay, that seems to be working fine now. Alright, let me get a little bit of grease. I'll dab it on there and then I'll button this back up. Alright, before I button it all back up, I thought I'd give it a quick shot. Want to make sure that it works. It works really smoothly. That's what we're looking for. Alright, try to line the holes up here. Alright, that's it. If you've got a Ford Ranger or another Ford pickup and your tailgate handle is busted, you can no longer open your tailgate. Hopefully this video has been helpful. Thanks for watching. Leave questions and comments below, and if you want to see more of this type of stuff, please hit the subscribe button.